Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Behind the Lens. I'm your host, Anthony Trena, and what we are going to talk about today is the Halloween special. And with me today are the two masterminds behind the TWIRD Halloween special, the Batman, the Pumpkin Knight. So welcome, guys. Just introduce yourselves.
My name is Leo Tarasio. I co-director with my esteemed colleague, Anthony Chan.
Yes.
We'd like to thank you very much for having us on the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for stopping by. If you are watching this and you haven't seen the behind the or the actual episode of Batman, the Pumpkin Knight, we're going to put a link right here where you could click on that. It'll take you there. But then definitely come back and enjoy watching what we are about to talk about. So let's get started. Let's talk about the behind the scenes a little bit.
Yeah. So this scene was just a random little cutaway we have at some point, but I felt it was a pretty good encapsulation. This photo has pretty much all of our anguish and triumph in one picture. So we have one thing that we did differently with this project, and something that I like to include in all of my videos is more motivated and just lighting in general, because I feel like that's lacking in a lot of projects. So you can see the yellow and the blue. It's a little overexposed in this photo, but another notable thing is how the microphone is actually taped onto the top of the camera, because the camera microphone attachment was not working, and modern problems require modern solutions. So
So in this episode, we're going to go over a bunch of more behind-the-scenes photos, some videos, and a couple of cast interviews, so stay tuned.
So let's just a little bit talk about when this actually started, the process of when did it start, how did it come about?
So I first got the idea in like
It was April, right?
I know. I think I got the idea like February 2022. I knew I wanted to make a Batman video, because at that time the new Batman movie came out. I was just like, man, it's my time. I need to make a Batman movie, and I called Anthony. I'm like, Anthony, I want to write a Batman movie. And originally it was supposed to be pretty just like satire. It was going to be heavily comedic. And then I started writing it, and I was like, all right, now we're taking ourselves too seriously, and kind of found the fine line with this. But we started production in
It was May.
Yeah, in May.
Actually, we started filming this in May. So that was an interesting journey, because I had never seen any Batman movie besides the one that had just recently come out. So I got roped into making a Batman movie, despite not being a Batman film or basically knowing nothing about Batman. But I think it turned out pretty well, honestly, considering all the facts.
I just found out last week or the other day when we were talking about doing this show that you had never seen any Batman, and you didn't know the origins, and that's kind of funny and interesting.
That was Leo's whole expertise. He was a huge Batman fan, so he was really he's like the mastermind genius behind the planning in this video.
So the planning's been going on in the filming and everything for a very, very long time, and
Right.
one of the things I thought was done extremely well, and something that we've never seen in any TWIRD project, was the promotion for it and the lead up to it. And I know, Anthony, you were kind of like spearheading this, and you had your whole idea about the marketing and the advertisement for this. So just talk a little bit about that.
Right. So I had never seen a Batman film before, but I knew that for the Dark Knight trilogy, which I think was the Christopher Nolan films, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a film bro. I don't know. But the promotional for those Batman movies was really good, and I love doing promotion and marketing and stuff like that. So I knew that I really wanted to do posters and everything. So I'm not that great at Photoshop, but I just went to Photoshop, took a couple still images from the scenes that we had filmed, and just created all these posters and just put them up all around the school.
So we have a few here of Batman, and then we also have, some of the Joker.
Right.
And some other obscure promotions that, if you didn't kind of know and kind of pay attention, that were hung throughout the school, that were about your project.
So the police poster was actually, there's a real phone number on that. That was your idea, Mr. Trena. It's a feature called Google Voice. If you ever need a free phone number, they can give it to you. But that phone number that was on the poster is real, and it still works, and there's a voicemail for us. So
please call us.
Yes, please call. We were originally intending to use any voicemails we got for the credits, but nobody called, actually. So you can still call, or you send out an email.
We listen. We're always listening.
Always listening.
That's a really good idea. I like I actually called the number and left a voicemail when it first came out, but definitely you guys at home, give it a call and you'll hear a little bit extra from the movie. So this one's a funny one.
Right. So this was the first poster that we put up because we knew that we wanted to slowly introduce just the ridiculousness of the squirrels, because it's just so stupid and ridiculous. So we're like, yeah, let's just have Gotham City squirrel watching. This is the first poster we put up. And it's got a whole bunch of things like, this season we've been lucky to have unusually high numbers of squirrels in our area, but makes for great squirrel watching. So casually leaning into the idea that there's a lot of squirrels in Gotham City, ultimately revealing that it was the squirrels Batman.
Where did the actual idea for the squirrels being the main antagonist to your project?
So, from the beginning, I knew we wanted to make a Batman movie, and then I was like, okay, when does Batman fit in the most with the TWIRD schedule? Okay, Halloween, Dark Knight, all the stuff, and then I was thinking like, okay, what possible affliction could be like upon Gotham at this time that Batman could be trying to like save them from? And I was like, okay, well, maybe
smashing.
the pumpkins are being smashed, and I think, okay, who smashes the pumpkins in my front yard? It's always the squirrels. Every year, like all of my life, we'll have pumpkins on our doorstep, and then they get destroyed within a week by some pesky squirrels. So I was like, okay, it'd just be, I don't know, I guess it'd be funny if it was not in fact the Joker and it just was the squirrels. And then I was like, okay, going from there, what if we make the squirrels this kind of sentient army? And yeah, I think it worked out. It was a lot of fun with the. Well, we'll get to Alfredo later.
Yeah. No squirrels were harmed during the making of this project, though.
So again, we're staying with the whole creating the advertisements. I know you had some outside assistance when you were going through this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So we made all the posters except for the thumbnail poster.
A big shout out to Brendan McDermott and his Photoshop skills. So I came to him with the idea. I originally wanted it in black and white because like, oh yeah, black and white, super cool. But the original picture looks nothing like this. And then it was black and white, and he's like, something's wrong. Can I add color? And I was like, you know what? Sure. And then we got this absolute masterpiece from that. So, yeah, he did a fantastic job.
So huge thanks to Brendan McDermott for making that poster and the thumbnail for us.
Yeah, I think it's one of the coolest, obviously, thumbnails that we've ever had, and obviously the main poster for the Pumpkin Night did a great job. Let's talk a little bit about this scene. Do you want to show it and talk about it, or do you want to talk about it and then show it?
Let's talk about it and show it.
Okay.
So this is scene 1. Do you have anything you want to say about this, Leo?
Okay, this scene is not my favorite because it was rushed. It's definitely not my best work as a director, but I think there are definitely some good parts in it.
This monkey bar scene, we had wanted to do the flip from him seeing Milo straight up to then being upside down. That was one of the first things we planned out, like months prior to filming.
So I just want to say, Milo's in one of my classes, and he was complaining about having to do that scene for a few days.
We
Where
took
he's
it
just
like 15 times.
I was hanging upside down. It's the middle of the night. He's like, I got homework to do.
Yeah.
And all my brother wants me to do is just hang upside down for what seemed like an eternity.
Yeah, and the only I think the real MVP of this project was the warp stabilize effect in Premiere Pro. The shot, people were talking to me. It's later on in the scene, but like the zoom in shot of Declan, it's coming up at some point. But that was that I just kind of ran with the camera towards him and just added on heavy warp stabilizer, and it just looked smooth and good. Yeah. But yeah, there was a lot of.
So when in the whole process did you film this scene?
This was the last big scene we shot.
Right. This is the first one we planned, last one we filmed.
Yeah.
So something happened with some props, I guess, here.
With the car keys, right? So the car keys Declan just used. So that was my dad's car keys, and I drove that car that Declan was just in to filming this. And unfortunately, when we were done filming, I spent 20 minutes trying to look for my keys because I thought I lost them. I looked all around the field that we were filming in. Then I eventually came back to the truck and realized that they had been inside the car the entire time, right inside the door. So that was an interesting experience.
That stuff happens, but it makes for a good story.
Always check your pockets, everyone.
Yes.
So this scene was the interrogation scene. This was actually, I think, so I did a lot of the bare bones editing of the sequence and stuff because I liked the storyboards, was more of the director. And Anthony absolutely, he knocked this one out of the park. This was the only scene that he edited the original sequence for. And I think it's a lot of people coming to me like, yeah, that scene was really good. It was the only scene we filmed in the school actually. It had Ben.
So everything else was filmed
Everything was
outside of
outside of
school,
school, right.
except for the one.
Oh, and the one deuce cutaway with the finger.
The
skateboard.
board meeting.
Yeah, the board meeting.
Right. But I think what made this scene so good was the lighting, honestly, because one of the things, like Leo, you were saying earlier, was that we were trying to experiment with the good lighting. So I think you can see in the next slide that we have here, there's Leo filming for Milo. We tried to. It doesn't look that great on the slide here, but the blues, the reds, the kind of the contrast and everything. That's what we were really trying to experiment with and like see how it could set the tone and the mood of the film.
We were definitely going for more stylization with the lighting instead of realism. I mean, there are certain scenes, like I think scene 2, which is my personal favorite scene, which is the one with Milo and Christian, Alfred and Bruce. And I thought that one had more realistic, natural lighting. But this scene is obviously not natural, but I think it definitely does the trick because it's like almost the climax, like the reveal. And I think the heavy clashing colors definitely contribute to the themes we're working with, and I think add to it. So yeah, we're definitely going for style.
So besides the lighting, something that I thought was absolutely fantastic in this is the acting and your ability to get really, really solid performances from various people. So we're going to take a look now and a little behind the scenes with Milo, who played Batman.
Right.
Hi, I'm Milo Tarasio, and I play Batman in the TWIRD Halloween special. I think my favorite scene is the one with Batman and the Joker, when Batman is originally tied up and the Joker smashed the pumpkin. That was super fun scene to work on. I loved everything about that scene, and it was a pleasure doing that scene. All in all, it was fun. I enjoyed doing the Batman voice, which was really hard to recreate for me. You may not realize, but it took like 80 takes for me not to laugh when I had to say, "I'm vengeance." That was very difficult for me because I kept laughing. But yeah, it was fun portraying Batman.
Yeah, I think Milo did a fantastic job, honestly. We were going through a couple ideas at first, like when we first started coming up with the idea, like who do we want to be Batman? 'Cause it's like an important cast, but...
And then we ended up deciding on Milo because, number one, he's my brother, if you couldn't tell. And he was always available. Well, he wasn't always available, but I made sure he was. And I was like, okay, well, he's got dark hair. Kind of looks like Batman, I guess. And he's always around when I'm around. So we decided to go with him. So Ben Weinberg did fantastic job as Joker. We have an interview with him later. Honestly, he really killed it. I was some of the scenes he was doing, I was genuinely terrified. I know Milo for one was actually scared, so make fun of him for that. Yes. But here is a little bit of our cast dynamic behind the scenes. Everyone wants to know like what's the drama. This is pretty much how it went.
Yeah.
Tell me your clicker.
Action. We used that sound effect.
It was a real slap.
Yep.
And that was the first time it happened out of 2 times.
Yeah, Milo got slapped twice.
He was a real trooper.
Yep.
Did he know
Thank you,
he was
Milo.
going to actually get slapped?
No.
I think
he had no
'cause
idea.
we had done the slap takes so many times, and I think it was my fault, honestly, because I had joked, "Oh, I actually slapped him this time," not expecting like Ben to actually follow through. But that next take was this one where he just whammed Milo in the face.
So you took the audio from that slap and put it in the actual one used in the film.
Right. So if you listen to the project, you'll hear that slap sound. And there it is. That's a.
I like how Ben is just like, "You good?" But this is another one of my favorite scenes. I thought it was a lot of fun to shoot. I think it turned out pretty well. Ben did great, Milo did great, and this was one of the highlights.
Yeah, so here's another blooper. This is kind of embarrassing, honestly. This is as a Joker is smashing the pumpkin, right? So it's like big climactic moment. You know, the pumpkin's being smashed, and if you look right in the background there, you'll see the pumpkin right behind Milo's head.
There's so much clutter there. No one's ever gonna see it, but
not even we noticed it. I mean, we obviously filmed this before we filmed the pumpkin smashing
Some
scene,
product placement there too.
Yeah, Coca-Cola. I prefer Pepsi.
But this was one of my favorite like behind the scenes moments. I think I did a solid job editing this. So I was going for this. We'll see in a second.
Yeah.
I think it's a great introduction to the Joker.
Yeah. So this little jittery effect here, I spent I think honestly maybe 4 to 5 hours just keyframing. For those of you that don't know what that means, I went frame by frame through the whole thing and resized it and scaled it. So I tracked his left eye so that it would stay in the same spot. And so his left eye stays consistently the same spot at this frame, which makes the rest of his face like all jittery. And it like the hallucination from the gas. I thought the green lighting here was actually very good.
Yeah,
I
that
was
worked out really
pleasantly
well.
surprised by that. This was in my basement.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this part.
Oh, we had
And
Anthony
that-
flicking the lights, and that was a good touch.
I think that was Milo, actually.
Oh, was
who
it
was doing
Milo? Yeah.
It was filming the scene was terrifying though, because both me and Leo had the camera, I had a light. We were both like
Yeah, I'm sitting right
that
here. His
close
face
from
was like here. I was like, oh my god.
and he was like going every time he did the laugh. It was terrifying.
And if you don't know, Ben's also in one of my classes. Like, he's such a great kid. He's really nice.
Very chill.
You know, but again, he acts in the school plays, and that's something that he's passionate about, and he just takes on the character. I know one thing that we kind of talked about is like he was like kind of meta, and he was kind of in the character a lot of times when you were filming.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So he wasn't just there cracking jokes on set. He was like,
No, he was like dark and brooding in the corner until it was his time to go. Occasionally he'd laugh at something stupid that we said, but yeah, I think so. One of the best parts of this project is definitely Ben's baseball bat getting uncomfortably close to the camera, and also Milo. He was terrified. So I know this is a podcast with Mr. Trina, but it's not a good project unless a camera is in immediate danger at any point. We had
listen, as long as it comes back fine,
no, yeah,
you can do what you want with
it was
the,
safe.
with
We
the
had. I was
cameras.
like, Ben, I need you to swing the camera. I will duck. You gotta try or swing the bat.
at the
Swi-
bat, at
yeah,
the camera.
he was swinging at my head and then at Milo, and yeah. So I think he did a good job. We had these lights were an MVP. They were magnetic. But yeah.
And we have an interview with Ben, I believe. So let's roll that.
My name is Ben Weinberg, and I played the Joker in the TWIRD Halloween special. You know, I had a lot of fun doing it. I want to say it was a lot of work, but really, didn't feel like work to me because I really enjoyed doing what I was doing. It was really fun being in that whole outfit, getting my makeup done, being in the whole Joker setup, and just being in character doing this was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, first of all, just smashing, well, it wasn't even technically a pumpkin, it was an acorn squash, so that's pretty funny. And it actually had to go in the microwave we had to try to mush it up a little bit so it would be easier to smash. And then we ended up like pre-cutting it a little bit so it would like bust open. But it was a lot of fun to clean up. There was some cleanup to do, but I think it was worth it. Just thank you to all the viewers who watched this Halloween special.
Ben was definitely incredible. Milo, Ben, every single person that we had in the project, I want to give it thanks to because they did incredible jobs. Fantastic.
And you even had people helping out with makeup and,
Right.
and wardrobe and stuff.
Yeah, that was Jenna. She was another MVP of this project. We had an interview with her as well.
Yes. This project wouldn't have been half as good without the Joker makeup, though. That was like a killer addition, I think, and Jenna knocked it out of the park for that.
Yeah.
It turned out really well.
Yes, we have more pictures of the little Jenna highlight reel here.
Yes. Jenna, there she is. This was right before we filmed the interrogation scene.
This was one of the last days of school, actually, last year. I think it was like the second to last day.
I think it was the second to last day of school that we filmed this, yeah. So, and then, of course, if you go to the next slide, Jenna was also Harley Quinn, and so she was a multi-talented, like, double, triple threat throughout this whole project. So she did a really good job.
I'm Jenna Ziegler, and I was the makeup artist and Harley Quinn in the Batman special. So for the Joker's makeup, I based it on the Dark Knight Joker, and probably the most difficult part was like getting it all even and symmetrical, because like the black circles around the eyes was really difficult because one would be bigger and then I'd just keep adding. And then the same thing with the smile. I remember one time it was like really big because I had it lopsided, so I had to make it like a huge smile, which I thought was really funny. I liked seeing when Ben slaps Milo because I think it's really funny because the bloopers for that were really funny. The most difficult part of my performance was probably my voice. Harley Quinn's voice is so weird, but yeah, Everyone did great, really.
Job, performance, and behind the scenes wise. So big shout out to her.
And we have some unused content too. So the soap opera scene, which was probably one of the weirdest scenes in the whole thing, was originally a Gotham cable news segment where we discussed squirrel sightings skyrocketing. So huge thanks to Grace and August Murray for doing this scene twice for us. So thank you very much to the both of you.
That's all I got.
I liked how you guys used everybody in the class also.
Yes.
Everybody that wanted to be in it was in it. I think everybody in the class was actually in the project.
The only problem was Yejun did not make the final cut because
Right.
the one shot he was in was that big pan out slow mo in the very last scene, and he was one of the EMTs. But him and Andrew were laughing so hard, and so just the way it worked out, you couldn't actually see Yejun in it at all. But if you look at Andrew's face during that shot, he's like laughing hysterically. So that's one of my favorite little moments.
I thought Andrew, because they're lifting a body.
Yeah.
I thought he was just struggling so much to move the body. It was like an awkward, I thought he was moving the body by himself.
No,
And I
yeah,
was like,
Yejun's
wow,
on the other end of that. So
He's pretty strong.
Oh
But
no,
yeah,
Yejun's in the he's in the board meeting.
He is in
We
the
did.
board
We brought him
meeting,
back
so-
in.
Yes.
Yeah, forgot about that.
So thank you.
Oh yeah. So this is Alfredo,
star of the whole show.
Our
Yes.
mascot.
Alfredo the squirrel.
These are, in my opinion, the best shots of the entire project. Are just
Weirdly well lit for
of
some
the-
reason.
Yeah. Alfredo is the squirrel.
Now, did you have this before, or you went out and bought the?
I
hand
bought this
puppet?
when I bought the pumpkin at in May. And what happened was this was originally a dog toy, and it had like tin foil, and it still has like a squeaker inside of its head. But what I had to do is I had to mutilate poor Alfredo. I cut a hole in it, took out the tin foil, and stuck my hand in there. Actually, it's Anthony's hand in the project. He's making the noises. That's all in camera, by the way.
Yeah, I got relegated to squirrel duty for the project.
That's fantastic. So it's a dog toy that you turned into a puppet.
Yeah.
Wow. So problem solving and thinking on your feet, just like in the beginning when you used tape to tape the microphone together because the mount wasn't working properly.
Right.
Yeah, and this is behind the scenes of the first scene we shot. Still my favorite. This was more. Milo's making a funny face, but this shows it's a light down there, and we have the blue coming on him to simulate like the blue from the TV, and then we had an orange light, or Anthony would be holding an orange light, and he would be coming in from the side to simulate the light from the lamp. I think it looks good. That original close-up of his eyes was so cinematic for no reason at all.
It was.
And,
Well, we consider that being some sort of thumbnail or poster. I think. At one
yeah,
point,
we
right?
were gonna have. And then Milo's like, "Dude, I don't want my eyebrows to be on the screen the whole time."
Yeah, so we just plastered his face all over the other posters instead.
Yeah. Christian again did a great job. We have an interview with him that we'll play right now.
I'm Christian Urar, and I played Alfred the Butler in the TWIRD Halloween special. I think my personal favorite scene, I'm a little biased because I was in it, but my personal favorite scene was when we were pulling up the symbol over the map, and me and Milo are sitting next to each other, and we like look into the camera like that. It was fun to film, and it was even funnier to see. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was a good
And
one.
I mean, that was like one of the only ones that I did, but it was so fun to do. I felt like I did so much for it. Like it was a fulfilling scene.
Yeah, it was a good one.
I just wish. Sorry to
No,
cut
you
you
go
off.
first, go first.
No, I just wish I made my accent a little more clear, because at certain parts it sounds like I'm saying words that I shouldn't be saying, and I just kind of wish I worked on the accent a little bit more. But other than that, I was pretty proud of what I did.
It's been real.
Goodbye now.
Yeah. So big shout out to Christian. He did a fantastic job.
And thank you for doing the accent throughout all of the scenes that we had you film. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, Christian again, another top-notch actor who I think was casted brilliantly for this segment.
Yeah. We have one more thing. I believe we're getting close to the end, but this is the stop motion intro. This is Leo made this.
Yeah. I spent way too much time cutting out these letters from just an image online. But I animated this on vacation, just like on a table. I put up some board game boxes to block out all the light. Moved them around. I used the same stuff I use for my other stop animation. It's this program called Dragon Frame, and I have a webcam and all that. But that was time consuming. I think it came out pretty well.
I think it came out amazing. Another thing in the with the stop motion is incredible. But one thing that also really helps the intro is the music.
Oh,
and throughout
yeah.
the entire thing, the music is great. And that was done by Tim. Tim did all of our score. Did a fantastic job. We sent him over the clips of the footage, and he did 11 minutes of music in 2 days.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow.
He really was working diligently. A huge shout out to Tim. There's no Leo Tarasio directed credit without a music by Tim.
Hello, I made the score for the Pumpkin Night, which I'm sure y'all saw. This is my studio. I've got my things here. It's just my room, but I made the score using Logic Pro. I only had 2 days to make it because I procrastinated. But also I wanted to see the final sort of cut, which he did send me, which Leo did send me. Ancient computer, by the way. This is from 2013 or 2012. Listen, guys, if y'all rich, I would appreciate some money for a new computer, you know?
Love that, man. Another thing, besides the Tim soundtrack, we had some songs by the Smashing Pumpkins. And so what happened was, my original thought, when the pumpkin was being smashed, we have to play 1979 by the Smashing Pumpkins because it's funny. And Anthony was like, no one's going to get that. The first people that got it were his parents.
My
When
parents.
he showed them. So I was like, well, what do you know? And then
There you go.
the fight scene where we have the other Smashing Pumpkins song with Ben and Milo in Anthony's garage again, that was just missing something. We added that song. That was one of the last things we did, and thank God we did, because it really elevates the scene, makes it more intense. So, yeah.
Well, we're almost out of time, so we're gonna wrap it up. You have a few thanks that you want to give.
Right, we want to give a thanks to Chloe Lee for letting us use her front yard for the first scene. We want to give thanks to you, Mr. Trena. Of course, a huge thanks to Ms. Russell. Huge thanks to her parents, and also thanks to P22 typewriter font for us using it in basically every single part of the project that we did.
Did you take a while to find the right font, or that was like, hey, we saw this and then we got it?
I think I was in Photoshop. I was just looking up typewriter fonts. I chose that one. I just stuck through it for everything.
I woke up one day, there was an email, and Anthony was like, I've got it.
Well, I just want to say, great job. I think the biggest takeaway for me was the amount of effort that you put into the project. Obviously, it came out very well, and it's been well received by the faculty here and the outside public. And I just want to say, really, really good job of setting a precedence of, this is what you can do if you really put the time and effort into it and really focus on everything from lighting to marketing to acting to editing and all the things that it takes to produce a high quality project. I know I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys can produce in the future. Thank you again for joining us. I am Anthony Trena, and this has been the TWIRD Behind the Lens episode.
Thank you.